Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. 86 of Build the Ecto-1. We'll put the frame around the back door on the left side. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's go to my overhead camera. I got Nellie out because if I move her, I don't want to be fighting with that darn thing, getting it back on that car. This thing isn't going back on the car until it's time to play with the wires. Yeah, that's going to be something. Alrighty, stage 86. When this stage is said, you're going to receive your decorative parts for the left rear door. Well, we sure in the hell got that. So let's go ahead and see what we got. Open up a little package. Try not to lose anything. Oh yeah, these are the ones we're going to peel off again. I don't know about that. Okay. We don't want it flying all over the carpet, but I'm here to tell you it's possible. Oh, I should have just paused the camera. This thing, it's got itself, it's plastic. I don't know what the heck happened to this thing we shipping. It didn't make itself all lying down. Okay. The grace of God, I got it open. My dad was like that with this stuff. Man, no patience. Well, first part's already here. Flip this piece around here. You know what? Put this piece over here. This. Uh-oh. We got ourselves an uh-oh. Do we have ourselves an uh-oh? Or is it just... I gotta look. We do have ourselves an uh-oh. Somewhere along the line, this crazy thing broke during shipment. That means I gotta let it dry here. I'm gonna have to fix it. Yep, and yep again. I'm sure glad I saw that. Well, we are going to have to let it dry. Well, what you know. It broke during shipment. I guess you say, why don't you send it back to Fanhome? Well, they would be happy to replace it had I bought this from Fanhome. But these parts are still the parts from our good friend over there at Eagle Moss. You know, the ones that left us. Yeah, those folks. Alright. I'll go ahead and put my little clamp on. And we have to let that dry. And that's just the way that's going to be. Can't do nothing with... Well, that is just wonderful. Buy all this money, pay with these clamps. And it'll fall off. There we go. I want you just going to knock the thing down. Go ahead and let that dry. And there was an uh-oh I didn't do. That damaged and shipped. So we'll let it dry with the super glue. And we'll come back later and continue our build. Okay, we'll begin pack 87. These are the parts that we're going to be using in this build for the Ecto. I'm going to cut this bag open. Okay. So, We're going to begin by making sure I point out, be careful with this little piece right here that represents the door lock. It can come off if you're not careful. Now, pick up the gear. Make sure the L2 is facing towards you. And we're going to simply just put this on right here. It's indicated. We're going to secure that with 1 HP screw. Watch my scissors. Okay, I don't want to cut. Now we don't have to put any oil because it's going into plastic. So that's for sure. Okay, you don't have to over tighten it. Just enough to keep it snug because you want it to kind of move freely. Okay. Then we move down to our next piece, making sure the L is facing towards you. Got L on this side, and that simply goes right there. That gear, and that will be secured in. I think we changed the screw on this one. A UP screw. So this one was an HP. This is going to be a UP screw. And again, not to over tighten it, just it's in there, make sure it moves. Okay, now we got our two protectors, just like we did with the this door over here. You want to put these kind of like up at the top to protect the window from when it's going up and down. Good grief. Okay. Line that up, make sure it's not visible there. That's one. It's hard to see, but it went right there. A little tricky getting these little stickers in here. Okay. Now they're both in at the top. Now protect the window from being scratched. That's all there is to do in 87. Okay, moving right to step 88. Move the piece we worked on in step 87 to the side. And come over here. We're going to attach. Remember to be careful with the piece, the door lock at the top of the car. I'm gonna find these things. Okay. That's not the piece, the other one. We kind of like the one with the curve going down. It's got a key, so make sure you put it right there with the key. And we're going to secure that with one EP screw. So let's get our screws out. A lot of screws from this little EP, LM. AP, HPDM, EP. All right, got our EP screw. I'm going to turn it upside down. And we're just going to secure it in. And that's where it went, right there in that hole. Then it's secured in. I'll take our little window lever here. We're going to put it right there. Now it's time to get the gears out. Another smaller gear. 2 gears. There's one that's marked with an L. They're both marked with an L. Both the same size, but one's got a cut in it and one does not. So the one with the cut in it, one is going to fit over that, and that's going to be secured with a KM screw. Okay. And that's secured with a KM screw. Put the remaining gear right there on the top, making sure it matches up the other gear. And that's going to be secured with a U. What is it? Gear 4 gets secured with a UP screw. There's our UP screw. Okay. Make sure they all turn. Uh-oh. Houston, we do have a problem. Let's find out what it is. They all should turn. Let's see, something happened. So we got to figure out what happened. Okay, when I put this piece in. Let's see. Okay. Let me look. Let me figure out. Okay. I know that moves in there really nice like that. Moves in that direction. Yep. I can't imagine what happened. Alright. Let's see here. Bet you they got some spurs on one of these gears. Used to work in a machine shop. And one thing I know about gears is it doesn't take much for them. Okay. It moves freely like that. And we're going to figure out the process of elimination, which one of these gears has got a problem. Okay. They move, but they don't move all the way. And it's got to be this gear here. I'll take some sandpaper and try to make it a little bit smoother. And we'll come back and see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some sandpapers and sand down the gears and see if that works. Okay, we're back. We had to do some filing and finagling and all kinds of stuff to these two gears, to where this gear, they're metal. So I had to actually get my magnifying glasses out and keep filing until I saw the metal in each of the gear and put some oil, and now it moves freely like it should. Okay, so that's where we're at. Thank goodness that's done. That was quite a nifty step there. It's going to go ahead and it's going to get installed at the top. So go ahead and roll this window back up. Okay, now we're at the top. Oh, about that high. Now, if you want to know which way the window fits, line it up with the actual door panel, and it's the shape of the door panel, because the door panel's got a curve on it, and that will tell you which way we're going to fit this son of a gun in here. You got to find your UP screw. One UP screw goes right there. Oh, that was something. That was one of those something builds. Now, where did that dog go to? Uh-oh. I got a basset hound on the prowl. Let me check where she's at. Supposed to be watching her today. Whoops. I might need a magnifying glass for the whole build. I don't see it. I almost caught the mirror. I want to catch the window here. Put this in like it's like straight, like right there. I hear it chawing on something. Oh, that dog. Holy. The dog. That dog gets herself into. Man. Just make sure it's on there nice, because you don't want it falling off. Pause the video for a moment and find out what she's doing. She was alright. Okay. Now it says retrieve our door panel. Now, one thing I want to remind you is that now's our opportunity to go ahead and wipe this window counter free of any fingerprints. Because once when we put it in there, we kind of want it to remain straight in that way. Get this out of my car. Okay, now, you see they got two guides, real important here. Whatever you do with the window, make sure the window goes inside these two guides. Because if you don't, you're going to be really, really, really upset later. It would help if I put it in the right way, huh? I think it would. Help if I just lay it down. Take these glasses off. I can't see with the glasses on. Can't see with the glasses off. Let me roll it down. Okay. I wonder if the window is on the wrong way. Because the window's got to go in, can only go in one way here. And we just need to find out which way. We can go in that way. It'll be the size of the door frame, so. The only real way to fit these ports together is to slide the upper edge of the window underneath these two tabs, the circle below. Then carefully slide the sides into place. It's taller over here and it's shorter over there, so this has got to be the way in which it's going to go in. Yes, I agree. Definitely goes in this way. Short side towards, and then the long side goes towards there. So, gotta get the orientation right. But they're saying it's a tricky little devil to get in place. Okay, now go upside down. The only real way they said to do this, see, they got slides for the window here and here. So you kind of want to get, that's what they're talking about here. Now I have a Cadnola, the model builder I did. I'm going to kind of see if I can go and loosen this up. me size and put that down over there. I used to work on my dad's cars. He would always break his darn window. I don't know what it was with him. Now, now that the window is nice and fit in there, we're going to have to go back over here and insert this little piece carefully. We got just enough room to do it too. It's not going to be easy, but it sure is easier than fighting with this thing. And that window in there. That's the way I did it. Well, so far, that's the way I did it. Break. When that dog starts barking, my dog starts barking. Okay. All right. Now, that's that. My dad's Metropolitans. Oh my goodness. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. It's okay. Make sure this little thing up here goes at the top. See that piece right there? Yeah, make sure that little piece goes at the top. So the holes weren't matching. So my holes weren't matching up. Well, that's because. All right, now praise goodness we're back in action. Whew, man. That was rough. Uh-oh. Okay. We got some IP screws here at the top. We're just going to go ahead and kind of snug them up a little. And then come back and tie them after we get all four. See, now the dog woke my dog up. Oh boy. And then at the bottom there's going to be 2 DM. Now with the DM screws, we're going to add a little bit of oil. Right here in this 2 DM screws. Now, with any luck, the window should go up. Success, success, success. Now, remember how I did it. case you're wondering, to get this window in here, it's to line up with the long end and then the short end. But when you do the window, I'm going to try to slow down my explanation. But when I got to putting the window in, I removed this little piece that we put in stage 87. And then I slid the window into its slides. You have to make sure that the slides in there, right where it slides in into the window guides. That's what it's called, the window guides. And then I put the metal piece back on, and then I have no problems now. That's how I do it. Be careful doing that, because when you've been in the plastic, you definitely don't want to break it. Now, we'll be back and we'll do the trim. Alright. Now, moving right along with this build. Oh, not that again. On this side, we have that little to protect that window. Metal, not metal, but the button, the door, the keyhole. There we go. I need a bigger table. Then I need a bigger room. I am the king of grabbing things and pulling them. I'm going to fix that. Put that back up there. Okay. Throw in the little bag. On the correct orientation, and you just push it in. That's it. Okay. Wait a second. Oh, the trim. Yeah. Do something. I even said that too. We'll be right back with the trim. I ain't gonna fool around with that. These parts are identical, and also the pins will sync and align with any of the matching holes. So, just make sure the pin holes line up. And you'll have and it's about as thin can get, so don't push it too much. Make sure the pinholes line up. In this case, it lined up over there. That did not line up over here. We'll switch it around. Put the middle pin in first. Nope, it's got to go the other way. See how it's short? That's why I did the middle pin first. I'll try this one up here. Yeah, I like that spot better. I'm not going to sit here and argue with it. That's where it wants to go. Fine by me. There we go. There we go. Just push them in easily and you won't break it. Well, this little packet, however, it was shipped went through hell and back. Because it was just really bent up. Nope, wrong way. I know that when you see how it overlaps, that's why I did the center one first. I don't want to break it. So I have to get a little bit of a. I don't want to scratch it. Huh, I got a dilemma. There we go. All right. I'll reverse it around. I have the car out here because it's gotta. I need to use it in a second. All right, now. There we go. Okay, that thorn trim is in. Whew. Suffering succotash. Now, okay, you got to get your V-wire. Oh man, I got to readjust the cameras for this. Okay, we're back. So, as this flips inward, you want to make sure when you install this wire that it goes inward. Now, the correct installation is with the, see the two black wires here? Let that be your guide. It's going to go into this hole right here, just like that. I know what you're saying. It doesn't feel like it fits. But you know it fits when you can. This is going to go all the way in the back. See how that moves? So the black wires are over here. The red wires come out in the back. That's how it's orientated. So look, I'm telling you, in the hole, there is a hole. And it's going to be on that side. I know it looks crazy. But that's how it goes in there. Okay, just like that. Don't be discouraged by the way it looks with the big hole here. The big round hole like a through hole, but this is how you want it to go in. Okay. That was a couple of you don't lose that part. We all remember that little part if you watch my video. And now we're back with it. We don't want to lose it this time. I don't want to lose this part. Okay, another thing is when we finally do the assembly, you got to make sure that the wires go right up inside here. Remember that? Future assembly stages, that's how the wires run. They go right up inside there. Okay, now here's my little piece. And of course with the flat side at the back. And they're going to go right here with this. Now, oh boy, I lost that piece last time on the ground and never did find it. DM screws. Go ahead and put my oil. All right. A little rag to wipe that all the excess oil. And we got to find the DM screws. I'm going to go ahead and pre-thread these. We'll tap them, the holes. So. All right. They're nice and in. Okay. Now I go with the edge facing the back of the car. I highly suggest you start them. There's like a little real tiny piece here. Okay, now you got that started. We can go ahead and do the bottom screw and get that in there. That's how I lost my last one I did on the other side. It flew off. And I don't want to make me a whole new one. One day somebody will be cleaning out this house. And they will find a part like this. And they'll be wondering, what in the hell is this? Well, I'll tell you what it is. Goes to the Ecto bill. I look too. I really look for that part. Okay, moving right along. I'm going to go ahead and get a little small pair of screwdrivers and just push this in, make sure it goes freely in and out. That'll be nice, so we know that that works. Now we're ready to install a little metal piece, which is where the latch is going to go. And it just orientates itself like right there. You see it just like that at the top. And that is secured with a DM screw as well. Put a little oil on the DM screw. There we go. Okay. And that's how it looks. Just like that. Putting that in. Making sure that this will take forever just to stay. But that's how it goes. Just remember that for future stages. That's how that wire has to go in that line bed. We could try to tie it up, and we will. I know my camera keeps going out of focus because I keep moving my hand. Just like that. Just to remind us later. I'll just put it right there. Come on, keep that in there because you want to make sure later that that wire goes through there in the future stages. Now it's time to secure the door. So you got your blue wire for the inside lamps. We're going to readjust our cameras and come back. Okay, had to do a little finagling and adjustments for my two sides. And so here are the two holes we're going to be screwing the DM screws. And what I wanted to show, it's very important you pre-tap these holes because when you're trying to place it in the car, if you haven't done this, it'll be an adventure trying to put that thing in the car. Okay. I don't want you to go through such an adventure like that. Yeah. You see? Can you imagine the fun of being in the car if you don't freeze thread them? All right, these are DM screws. Go ahead and tap them in there. Nice and Now they give you 3 screws. I suggest you use one to tap with, and the other 2, the ones that you're gonna be using inside the car. That would be my recommendation. Because it's a we're doing is it's self-tapping. And it takes a little bit of, gotta make sure you're going straight, or they get cross-threaded. Okay, just if you ever had one port that just gives you trouble all the way through, that's been this door. Okay, good. Now it's all the way in there. Now we can put it on the car. And just put a little bit more oil in here. And now we're going to go to the side camera. So 2 holes we're aiming for right here, 1 and 2. Be very careful with our door. Placing it upside down. Like this. The piece is going. Not scratching it. I have to stand up for this. Okay. Make it lined up. I'm going to feed 1 in. Okay, well, since I got 1 in place, I'm going to kind of move the side camera so y'all can see. Okay, I wanted to get 1 in place. Now I'm going to go ahead and screw in the other one. And one of these days, that's why tapping these things beforehand was so important. As can you imagine trying to do it now? Make sure they're kind of snug. Okay. I'll be back. We'll flip it over and see how it did. Okay. Now everything works with the door. Opens and closes nicely. I had a little trouble right up here at the top, so I had to lightly take, if it wasn't matching up, I had to lightly open it up very gently while securing it. This metal does bend, so I was able to bend it in place, and that made it line up great. Okay. So that was step 87. There it is, the camera. 87 and 88. What a build this was. Please pay attention to those special tips. And remember, read the direction carefully. Don't make the mistakes I did. And remember to please subscribe, like the video, and comment. Till next time, may the good news be yours.